You kind of have to take risks and you have to take steps to learn things and to get where you are.
Yeah. And let's be honest, as many times as you can tell somebody, don't touch that, it's hot, they're going to do it. Odds are. And they'll go, oh, shit, maybe you were right.
Every single girl that I told that to still touched my dick.
Exactly. And they're still using the shampoo for the crabs.
I told them shaving won't work, and they still.
But I mean, to be honest, your crabs did have that successful career doing those Element commercials, so they're doing quite well.
You can get a driver's car. Just call it that. A driver's car on Cars and Bids for a really good price. And sooner or later, the bottom's going to fall out because sellers aren't going to go to Cars and Bids anymore. People don't sell 240s anymore on Cars and Bids. Go look in Cars and Bids and look. Let's see when the last 240 was sold.
But I mean, I think the bottom is falling out in a lot of markets. It's not just Cars and Bids. I think you're starting to see Bring a Trailer and hell, like even just retail.
This was April.
Money is too expensive right now.
Yeah, this cutie pie sold for $11,000.
Y'all hear Neck, you're hiccuping right now?
I'm not hiccuping.
That's hiccups.
That was a hiccup.
Don't f with me, dude. That was hiccups.
Okay, it is brown interior, but still.
$11,000, 136,000 miles, pig nose, but I mean, it's a pretty cute looking pig nose for $11,000.
This is infinitely better than anything you'll find on Marketplace.
A Pepsi World Sport on there, tasteful modification. This is cute.
Oh, f those headlights, but
the wheels suck.
Whatever.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, big deal. These are tiny little things. She cute, man, and $11,000 is not a bad price on that at all. Do you think Atlas is in trouble with his wife or what?
Here, I'll put this in podcast. Oh, no. This is somebody that lost their ass on bat, I guarantee.
Let me see. 1994 Toyota Celica SSI sold for $3,100 in January of this year.
Oh yeah, you can't import it. You can't import it for that. This guy got
what the
that's how much it costs just to get the boat.
It's like some base model bullshit. Like
3SFE. So this is a worse engine than the American Model GT, which had the 5SFE.
Yep.
And let this be a warning to anybody that thinks, oh, if I import a base model, I can sell it because people will think it's sick.
Dude, I can import a 4-speed automatic base model 6th gen Celica and make money is not a sound idea.
Because nobody wants this. Nobody wants this, dude.
No.
Right? You got to buy the right car and you have to buy the right fucking trim. Bibaka cars?
Yeah, this shit's Baca as dude.
Yeah, Baca cars are what needs to change his shit too.
Yeah, there you go. There's another one. The better trim, but they got bonered. Yeah.
SS2 5-speed with a up front end, $5,900, also sold in February of this year. Another 3S GE, and that's not like a cool 3S GE either. That's not like the beams or anything. That's just a shitty engine, right? Makes like 120 horsepower.
And this is not what people want. No. You want the highest trim.
They don't want they don't want the US spec GT with like the slightly better engine than this.
Yeah, there's a huge difference
Baca cars.
between a base model and the based model. You want the based model.
Tell them that.
Yeah, I mean, I won't link this one, but here's a US spec 96 GT convertible 5-speed, 114,000 miles, sold for $8,500. Like, yeah, people are gonna want the top trim and the top spec. Like, what the fuck? This thing looks good too, though. But these are cheap. I still want one. I had one in fucking like, I guess it was high school, college, somewhere in there. I don't know. The nostalgia and the recapturing the lost youth is real. We're becoming the boomers.
And look, these cars I love the way they look. They look great. I love these Celicas. But don't fucking bring in a right-hand drive and think that you're bringing in something amazing, you know?
Right.
It's it's a normal fucking car. Scotty Kilmer drives this.
Yeah. Scotty Kilmer.
Yeah. That's it. It's the weird because you see all these like, Japanese, if you watch Facebook and stuff, you'll see all these like pop up no-name shops. We're like, oh yeah, we're exclusive JDM importers of base model shit that nobody wants.
We import Toyota Previa minivans.
Yeah.
Razor's Edge, he says, actually curious, if you guys were accidentally looking at imported right-hand drive JDM cars, what would you spend your money on and for about what price? So Razor's Edge, I've imported 2 cars. The first one, I did it kind of as a feeler, and I was like, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of money and make sure I can do it that way. If I lose the car for any reason, it won't hurt so much. So I imported a Celsior, and it was a grade 4, beautiful car. I ended up spending a lot of money on maintenance on it, and I sold it to somebody after everything was done to it, and I lost money. But it was a fucking nice ass Celsior. And after that, and I think I spent maybe $5,000 or $6,000 to import it, and
including
then,
the car or just to get it here.
Yeah, no, all in. And then I imported a 70 series Land Cruiser, and I think all in that one was like 10 or 11 grand. And that one I made money on. I ended up selling it for like 20 because that truck was sick. I regret selling both of them. I regret selling every fucking car I ever purchased. But it's all about buying the right car. You can't. Too many people get I guess stars in their eyes because the steering wheel's on the other side, and they think, oh, anything works. I'll get a fucking base model Skyline GTE and people will worship me and pay a lot of money. Like, no, that's not how it works. You still have to put the work in because a lot of these cars, a lot of right-hand drive cars or cars for auction in Japan, they're basically worthless. K-trucks are fucking free for all intents and purposes. You can get them for like $100 USD at auction. Like, I'm not even fucking joking.
Yeah.
And you're just paying, all you're paying for is export import fees and shipping. They get to the United States and a lot of importers will kind of pump the prices up and make you think like, oh, this is so sick, dude. People want this. And like, do people really want it? No. You know, nobody cares about a fucking Nissan fucking Highway Star van. You know, no one gives a fuck about that.
I mean, let's be honest though, all of these cars too at this point are at a minimum of 25 years old. So you're not importing what I would say would be a reliable daily driver. You're paying an extra 6 to 8 grand for the steering wheel to be on the wrong side and for it to come off of a boat. So if it's, oh, cool, I can get this car for 10 grand, that's a $4,000 piece of shit is what you're bringing over. And then it's a $10,000 piece of shit that you can sell for $5,000. I really wouldn't fuck with importing anything right now. To be honest with you, I think we're kind of past the end of the everything was cool point. Like you have the S15s.
Because really, at this point, the only thing that's still worth getting is going to be WRXs.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was going to say is just based on what I'm seeing them sell for on Facebook and stuff. I think the GC WRXs and the STIs might be a good
5,
buy.
Version 6, and version 7 STIs, and that's it.
Yeah, STIs, maybe Evos. I haven't watched those too much. But the thing is, if they're coming over here and they're selling for, on Facebook for 15 grand, so people are getting them here for 10 or back, like they've got to be just boxes when they get here too.
WRX STI guy in YouTube says, super impressed WRX 2002, Florida 2-owner car, 78,000 miles. How much you think? I'd be fine paying 15K. I think that'd be decent.
That's an expensive bug eye.
But it's a low mileage.
Yeah.
With that mileage,
stock,
you would,
then yeah,
dude. Because that's the thing. Like somebody said earlier in YouTube chat, GD wagons. You can buy GD wagons all day, not for under 200,000 miles. They've all been fucking driven. If you can find a GD that's under 100,000 miles, like that's kind of a feat now.
Oh, let me find.
Give him that good information, Ned.
Alabaster Silver, I'm sorry I don't understand how people can truly look at the state of JDM cars and think, yeah, I want to pay all this money for a 90s shitbox is insane. And I think what it is, Alabaster, is people are looking at it through rose-colored lenses and think they're going to buy a daily driver like Poochie was saying, but that's not the case. You're still buying, even if it's a grade 4 that's low mileage, which my Celsior was. I still had to spend a lot of money on maintenance.
What website you look at when you look for JDM auction stuff? You still using Pacific Coast Auto or what?
No, I use JPC.
It's kind of like, it's going to be like your story time, but it's kind of like, that girl that you knew in high school, and then you run into her again, like, I dreamed about dating that girl.
Fat as hell.
Then 25 years later, she's had 3 husbands, pumped out 4 kids, and you're just like, oh, I can finally get my chance. And it's like, no, dude, it's busted at this point.
She's ready to settle down now.
Yeah. She's also overvalued herself too. She's got all this life experience, and she did some backpacking trip in Europe, and now she's come back home.
No, she took a back-breaking trip.
For real. So, I mean, it just comes out of this, right? It's where do you want to spend your money? What do you want to do? And it's like any car or any project, you've got to kind of begin with the end in mind. Like bringing over an ST205, what would I do to it? Drive it and look at it and go, that's fun. I wouldn't want to track it. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to mod it. You want to keep it running. And as much as I try to educate the younger audience about like the pitfalls of fucking with cars and saying like, no, don't buy that. It's a piece of shit. You're going to ruin your life. It's honestly a fucking double-edged sword because if I hadn't wasted my youth fing with cars and wasting all my money, I wouldn't have the knowledge I have today. And I think it's the same with everyone here. You know, like you have to fuck up to learn, but you also, I guess here, if the audience would take our advice, they could take that as a learning experience, you know. But you kind of have to take risks and you have to take steps to learn things and to get where you are.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, as many times as you can tell somebody, don't touch that, it's hot, they're gonna do it. Odds are, and they'll go, oh shit, maybe you were right. Maybe I'll listen to you. Like everybody has these stories. And
every single girl that I told that to still touched my dick.
Exactly. And they're still using the shampoo for the crabs that give a little pinch as in the Honda helmet.
I told them shaving won't work, and they still, you know.
But I mean, you're to be honest, though, your crabs did have that successful career doing those Element commercials, so they're doing quite well. But no, I mean, if I could give like one solid, legit piece of advice for people that, especially the younger people that are looking at cars and stuff like that, is one, get something you can afford, because nothing is worse than being car poor. And that fucking sucks. I think I have done that more times than I care to mention.
Listen up,
but it's nice to have that fun car, but then realize, oh shit, I've got to go work X number of hours just to actually have it, and then insurance and everything else.
Yeah, like if you live in an apartment and you're paying like a new car payment, you got your priorities are mixed up, you know. I'd much rather have a house and have a shit box that I'm buying rock auto parts for.
Yeah. The other thing I say is like mods. Some people like them, some people don't. I just think like with any project, right, and whether it's going to be work or school or a hobby or something like that, have realistic goals and then have an end goal too. Like, okay, cool. You have a Miata per se, and say it's a purple one. Like, okay, cool. What do you want to do with your purple Miata? You know, do you want to just drive it around and keep it stock? Cool. Is it going to be a track missile? Then, you know, modify and adjust for safety and reliability, things like that. If you want to stance it out and do the bazooka exhaust, whatever, do that too. But have a point where you're satisfied and done and stop.
What if I just want to park it in my yard for 2 years and then sell it for a loss?
After
just make sure you've cleaned out any ants that have moved in. Yeah.
We'll get there. Alabaster Silver, no, hear me out. What you're going to spend on a S14, get an R1 or Hayabusa. Perfect starter vehicle for a 16-year-old, and they're cheaper and way faster. And I mean,
this is true.
It's got a point.
Pretty solid advice. If I might say so.
Yeah. Stretched Busa over S14 all day.
Oh, and the other thing, big brain here, right? Don't finance a toy. If it is a toy or a project car, do not finance it. Don't put shit on your credit card.
And you know what, Poochie, that reminds me of something that I wanted to bring up is that the thing about these older cars like this is the flex of having a 90s car at this point is that to buy a 90s car, you have to pay for it all up front. Any new car...
Oh, no, you can finance this shit now, too, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, they're like Navy Federal Credit Union or some
a new car, any freaking idiot with a burger flipping job can finance a freaking Hemi Charger, you know?
Sure.
And that's what makes a freaking 90s car kind of a flex is it's like, oh, you kind of had to buy it outright.
Dude, I don't know if you've noticed this because you live in the Southwest and I feel like older cars are kind of common where you are, but the neck snapping for the MR2 Spider has increased exponentially since the last time I owned one of these.
Hot.
It's just constant, just dudes, just like 40-year-old dudes just getting hype as I drive by in the MR2. Like I could get so much 40-year-old right now. I don't know if the same is holding true for S13s in the Southwest, but here in the Midwest,
no, nobody.
Dude, I'm just excited to see another GLI in existence.
I drive that Sylvia. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
That sucks. I can just look over if I'm passing like an SUV with a guy in like a white like a white button-down shirt coming home from work, and there's like an 80% chance that he is staring at what I'm driving, and it feels
it's like
great.
It's like the Schlitz commercial with Chris Farley.
It's probably exactly like that.
RGT85 says, when I was broke in my late 20s, I got a $9,000 personal loan from a bank to buy a 98 C43. Worth it. I don't care. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You know, it's there it is. Here's fucking Fee driving the MR2, and Chris Farley peeped him.
This is exactly what it feels like. Yeah. This is exactly like what owning every MR2 I've owned so far has felt like.
Yeah.
This is me at every single gas station I've ever pulled up to in the last 5 years.
Just banana hammocks everywhere.
Yeah, that's plenty of this, but yeah, you get the idea.